I would like to know how you became so confident and comfortable in not only speaking about sex publicly, but what that looks like with your partners and how you're navigating teaching Black men specifically to not be shamed and unlearn the unhealthy things we've learned about sex.
I think it's more about, being open to conversations.
Okay.
Right. And listening to people of other lifestyles, of other whatever, that for you may not make sense, but to discredit or downgrade their existence is not fair within that. And so, me coming from where I come from, I come from heavy homophobia.
Okay.
Heavy. Like, it took me a long time to assimilate to the quote unquote Hollywood environment.
Okay.
Because, I'm a kid from Maryland, you know what I mean? And from the church and all of these things. And so where a lot of these things are like frowned upon in a sense, now you come to Hollywood and, homosexuality is prevalent.
Right.
And for me, it was very uncomfortable in the beginning. My stylist is a gay man. This person here is, and I'm like,
at least if you got a good stylist.
I'm like, I don't like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like the way, look at me when I'm putting these clothes on. I don't like, and it's all in my mind. I'm assuming all of these things. And it's not until, I'll tell you what happened. I signed, young lady, she was an openly gay rapper. Her name Messiah.
Okay. She was on a TV show.
Yep.
Yes, I remember her.
I signed her. And I signed her because I thought she was, well, she is. I thought she was the most incredibly talented human being, from singing, songwriting. I thought she was like a Drake. I was like, you're dope. I don't know what all's going on with you. I don't understand everything that's going on with you, but you're dope. And I signed her, and she needed a place to stay. And I was like, you can stay with me. And I started asking her questions
about her sexuality.
About
she's
her
she's a queer woman. Yeah.
Was
it easier for you to do that with a woman versus a man?
That was just the opportunity that presented itself.
Okay.
And I just started asking her questions, and I'm like, well, how? And why? And as opposed to just, trying to make my beliefs stick.
What kind of questions? Would you ask?
Well, the first was why.
Why gay?
Why are you gay?
Oh. I had that reaction because for someone that's so open about gayness, I feel like the why is an easy one, like, because I like it because I'm born this way.
Now it's easy.
For someone who
it's easy.
But for someone who doesn't understand it.
I understand it.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you gay? Like, why, how? Like, maybe we'll mix them together. And she was like, ever since I can remember desiring anything, I desired a woman.
Okay.
I said, interesting. I said, so you telling me you were born this way? She said, I was absolutely born this way. And I had to take that into consideration outside of all the things I had been taught. It's a spirit. You can pray it out. It's nothing but the devil, and all of these things that I had been taught. And I had to look at this woman who was honestly telling me, as long as I can remember, I've only wanted a woman. And to this day, I've never wanted a man. I was like,
you know what's interesting to hear a man say, and I liked hearing you say it this way, because I've described this to men like, when you're confused, think about innately how you want women. That is literally how my gay friends feel. It is like, I wake up, I feel this, I embody this. It's the same thing.
Yes.
And then we're trying to convince you. Imagine me trying to tell you loving your wife is bad. Now, that could be an extremity in this, but when it comes to sexuality.
No, it's not the extreme. You're right.
Okay.
You're
true.
right.
Loving your wife could be bad, right?
Because that's how strongly we believe.
Yep.
That that's how strongly we believe against that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing reversed. And so, like, one of my good friends, stylist Brian Javar. And I'm like,
Oh.
You know,
And then you started
just-
asking
and-
him the same
just,
question.
Well, just, you know, just even us in being friends.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I kindle and us being friends. And it's like, you realize that who you are is who you are, right? And just because that's your friend or just because, you know, y'all hang out on occasion doesn't mean that you're that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that this becomes you. And so a lot of times with men, you know, especially, you know, when we in that hyper masculine space, we don't want nothing around us that's going to chip away at that masculinity. We don't want nobody associated with us that's going to chip away at that masculinity. And that to me is an insecurity.
How'd you go from that brain to being the guy? I remember the day you said it. I was smiling and laughing. I'm like, oh, this nigga don't give a fuck.
I just, you got to stop worrying about what everybody else thinks.
Because you still believe that today.
What is that?
You can suck a dick twice and not be gay?
Well,
and how come twice and not?
I know that. And when the number was put on it, that was all in joke,
that was
all
joke.
in fun.
Yeah, you were joking.
But I do know that, again, in speaking with people who are gay, they are actually gay.
They like
it's not.
Yeah.
It wasn't an experiment once in high school or an experiment once in college, and then they actually found their true selves, and now they exist in whatever way that is. No, this is what I am, and this is how I'm living. This is my life. I kind of stopped saying lifestyle, right? This is my life.
Yeah.
I am gay. That's what they're saying. And so I think that there's a grave difference between people who have tried things and people who are things.
Oh.
That was my point.
I like that you stopped the lifestyle word.
Just take that out of context because it's the internet and that's what they like to do.
It's the internet and they want to make jokes.
And then it went from a story about somebody to it's me.
It's you.
And that's the ignorance of social media, but I don't, you know, again, none of that bothers me.
You know, I never thought it was you, but one thing I did think when I saw it was something I say often. This is a memory that will stick out to me forever. Although gay, I grew up in the South. I know how we think of men that are gay. I used to even sometimes have that language when I was young. I never believed niggas could be bi. You know, I was one of them girls like, now, once you do it, you gay. Go to Europe with my best friend. He's on a date with a dude in Rome. He's like, girl, this place is lit. Come meet us. I show up to the bar and the guy was like, oh my God, this Italian dude. He's like, hey, you didn't tell me your friend looked like this. Mind you, they was kissing. He's like, I want to fuck the both of you. And so I'm laughing because I was
like a movie.
Oh, it felt like a movie. We're in Europe. I'm 21 and we're on this boat in Italy. And my friend is like, I really don't want to fuck you, but he's fine. I want to fuck him too. But now he acting like I ain't got a choice. And this guy back and forth all night is touching both of us. So into us. And I went home, called my mom the next day. I was like, wow, European men have the freedom to be gay. I didn't say they're really bi, or exploring sexuality, but they actually can do this. I believed it. I believed men could be bi from that day. I watched this guy, the way he was attracted back and forth, and it made me sad because I know black men don't have that. What black man? Where I'm gonna pull up and that could happen? Where in LA?
Well, I don't think it's dedicated to black men, right?
Do you think it's an American thing? Because I do feel like it might be.
I think white people can play around a little bit. I don't think black men can. I think black women can play around.
But it also has a lot of history connected to it when it comes to black men, right? It's not just reserved for black men, but when you think about the history of black men in America
specifically,
and the methods that were used to emasculate and make us less than, that's where it gets kind of triggering for black men. But, you know, ultimately, I think and just believe that you're going to be what you are.
Yeah.
And in terms of finding people who are like you or are into the things that you're into, you just have to be patient in figuring out who and where those people are.
That's a good point. Finding your tribe is all that matters. I
agree.
And that's really all that matters. I was sitting on the plane next to a young guy, football player, and he was like, you know, how do I manage all of this? He's got the money, you know, he's on TV, you know what I'm saying? They all on him.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm a young, I grew up in the church. I think I know what's right, and what do I do? And I said,
what was your advice?
and I said, young fella.
Not young fella.
'Cause
Good luck. Buckle up.
young rich fella. Do it how you would like to do it. Like honestly and unapologetically, do it how you would like to do it. And make sure that the people within this space, or who are involved, understand what that is. I was like, be honest. Be honest with yourself and be honest with the person or the people around you. And live it exactly how you want to live it. And judge from there. Decide from there, like what works and what doesn't work. But while you're young and while you have options, do what you would like to do. Don't hurt nobody, you know what I mean? But do what you want to do.